Roughly a year ago, we went through all of the achievements for Aliens Colonial Marines, and to do so we had to revive the dead servers, just for the achievements. And as a community, reviving a dead game has to be one of the best milestones that we have ever done for the channel. So I was thinking, why don't we just do it again with another Alien game? Of course, that would mean that today we are going to be covering originally released in 2010, Aliens vs Predator had to be one of my favourite games for the 360 era. I absolutely adored it, so I thought it would be the perfect time to go back and to see if this game is as good as I remember. And for all of the achievements in this game, we are going to have to do quite a lot. From beating all 3 separate campaigns at least 3 times for difficulty related achievements and collectibles, and we of course need to also try to completely revive the dead servers just for the sake of a couple of achievements. So is this game even possible to 100% nowadays? No idea. Let's find out together, and welcome to the Achievement Grind. So of course the most important choice comes first. With an Alien, Predator and Human campaign, which are we tackling first? Well, Predator, as that's what my Twitch chat decided. Now, all 3 campaigns exist at the same time but at different points, and the Predator's campaign starts in the jungle's training grounds. Here we are tested by our elders as we have something to prove. We want to become an elite Predator, so we waste no time disrespecting the local aliens, as we show off our tremendous fighting skills. Now, we don't really have any weapons other than our plasma caster right now, but that doesn't stop us from tearing the Xenos apart. With that, we are now sent to another planet to investigate a distress call sent by a Youngblood hunting party, and once we arrive, the true game begins. So in true Predator fashion, we hop from tree to tree invisibly laughing and take care of the poor unfortunate soldiers. And I mean, it's brutal. We do not go easy on them. It doesn't take long for us to find our first painful sight though, a dead Pred. The first of the group we are here to find. Not a great sight, but we must continue. We detonate his gauntlet and mourn our brother moving forward. After many more minutes of fighting and working our way through this terrain, we unlock our first achievement as well. It uses the jungle for finding our way through the first facility, and with that we are officially on the board. No turning back now. Now honestly, there isn't going to be too much discussion about the specifics of each campaign as they all play fairly the same. Move to the new area, kill all of the enemies in it and unlock the door to move on. It's a simple premise, but for this kind of game it works perfectly. It just means that there isn't going to be that much to talk about between achievements, and the next is already here, as we soon find another deader Predator. For finding our brother in the jungle, we also unlock Fallen Comrade. At the end of this level though, a reveal reveals itself, as we're not the only Predator in this jungle. The Pred Alien exists, so no doubt we will run into each other later on. The next mission again though has us storm compounds in search for our dear brothers and sisters. The game so far as well has been quite tricky. Of course I'm still trying to understand the best playstyle, but we are definitely dying more than I thought we would playing on hard. God knows how difficult this is going to be on Nightmare mode. As we approach a Xeno hive, however, we find another brother in arms. He, as you would imagine, has also snuffed it. This Predator corpse, though, brings a new present, a spiky DVD also known as the Smart Disc. You throw it and watch it carve through enemies like butter. Another gift we are given is the next achievement as well, Matter of Honor, for discovering the fate of the elite Predator. With this shiny new disc in our belts, though, we are also able to unlock the next achievement for killing 2 enemies with a single throw. And this was a lot trickier than you might imagine. Oh, this is insanely difficult. That was it? That was 2? No, it wasn't, because this one didn't actually fully die. Love that. Love that for me. Come on, that was perfect, and I didn't even hit 1, let alone 2 of them. I don't see how I can throw better. It didn't die. That wasn't it either. That was... Oh, thank God for that, Spin Doctor. Let's go. Since we've found all of the remains of the Youngblood party, our new objective is to grab all of the tech that the humans stole, hopefully revealing more answers. The first item we need is the Ancient Mask. To find it, we must throw ourselves deeper into this mess and storm an ancient Predator temple. A bit of alien murder and a couple of jumping puzzles later, we arrive at the mask. We slide that bad boy onto our disgusting face, and we're granted a table at the Council of Predators, which in itself gives us the next achievement, Eyes of the Demon. In this vision, we see a Predator carrying an alien up some steps, only to throw it back down them. No idea myself, but with this bizarre spectacle over, we move on as our next item is to find the ancient predator's arm bracelet. Things from this moment do get trickier though. More Xenos rush you at the same time, and human scum now have access to stronger weapons like the smart gun, which can rip you apart if you're not paying close attention. These obstacles though are nothing compared to the next task at hand. We have a trial by combat. Another chance to prove ourselves to the family and even maybe get the elite predator named myself. Our opponent is an alien queen. The fight was hilariously easy, however. We just kept our distance and threw everything we had into her stupid bony face. When she inevitably goes down, we also unlock Weld of Hurt. We also get another reward of a stick, a very sharp stick that I would come to find out is horrendously broken for the predator, but for now we don't use it that much. The start of the next mission has us begin by breaking into a research lab where the brace is hidden. Surprisingly though, just by finding our way in unlocks us another predator related achievement with breaking and entering. This area brings more pain to the predator story as androids enter the fight, and honestly they are tough foes. Incredible weapons that deal massive damage and a lot of health. They can even fight back against the executions. Eventually though, we are able to fight through deeper into the facility, eventually talking to the man himself, Bishop. An asshole and another obstacle, but more on him later. Because we're a little rascal, we turn the tides to our side and unleash all of the aliens within the facility, and it's now an all-out brawl for domination. So we just sprint past the chaos until we finally get our hands on the second artifact, and as you would imagine, this unlocks us yet another achievement with Reclaimer. Only one more mission left to go for the Predator's side, and it's our biggest fight yet. Remember the Pred alien from earlier? Well, now it's time to snuff its lights out in the most deadly game of the floor is lava that I have ever seen. The Pred alien himself is also really not to be messed with. He's faster than us, stronger than us, and well, just everything better than us. So we must use our wits and range to take this beast down, and I hate having to rely on wits, but we've got no other choice. The abomination must die, so we begin, slowly working its health down to avoid a golemy death in the lava. It certainly takes some time, but once you know what you're doing, it becomes a much easier fight. Not free, but better, as proved when we finally claim victory over this bitch and game Extinction Agenda for putting it down. With that, the Predator campaign is finished, and it ends with us finding the Xeno home planet and plotting a course for total domination. For finishing the Predator campaign on hard as well, we gain yet another achievement with It Ain't No Man. That is just one of 3 completed though, folks, and we have still got several entire playthroughs left to go, including Nightmare Mode, which makes every enemy harder, tankier, and if you die at any point in the mission, you go straight back to the start. But again, more on that later. For now, it's time to tackle the second campaign, and my Twitch chat once again made the choice. So if you also want to help make choices in the future, make sure you swing by. But it's time for the Xenos to take the platform, and it starts the same as the Predators with a tutorial on how these bad boys work. The Alien campaign is a lot simpler than the Predators campaign though. Here we need to break out and kill everything to protect the Queen. That's pretty much it. So after a brief moment to get used to the aliens' movement and attacks, the facility falls as it's hit by an EMP that frees us and allows us to start our frenzy. Whilst we escape and murder our captors, we cannot help but hear our matriarch whine like a little bitch, so we need to save her. Apparently this is much easier to do than you think. You don't need to have a complicated brain or hell even fingers, as by simply chewing on the edge of a keyboard will do it. And with that, our beloved Queen is free, as is the next achievement, Come to Mama. With our duties fulfilled, it is time to escape the research facility. Gnawing on another monitor does the job, the doors opened, and we gain breaking quarantine. And the mission ends with Mum and all of our brothers and sisters running into the night. That's not the end of the alien story though, we still have much to do. The next task is Stone Cold Revenge. We storm a marine facility and it's time to kill them all. Fortunately, this is hilariously fun. Leading marines to their doom and slowly picking them off one by one was exactly what I wanted, and it felt fantastic. The brilliant feeling kept coming as well though, as when we expertly dispatch both of the marines and the humans, we also unlock Grunt Hunt. After that, it doesn't take us long to fly through the rest of the mission. Now unfortunately, the next mission as well doesn't need to be talked about at all. No achievements to unlock here, and it's just us working our way through more meat shields, so let's skip ahead to where we found something in the alien ruins. Now, we may be killing in the exact same way that came before, but alas, we have our next achievement. To make it to the generator, we need to stand on 3 pressure plates across the map. Fortunately, they are all within a 5-second walk. So when they're all stepped on and a secret door reveals itself, we also unlock our next achievement under pressure for solving an incredibly difficult riddle, if that's what you can call a riddle anyway. But alas, we're at the most important mission in the campaign. It is time for the aliens' trial by combat, as we soon discover the same locations where we fought the Queen as the Predator. This time the script is flipped and we are here to start the birth of the abominations. So let's get to smiting these damn predators down. The first two are tricky and take some effort to put down as they are absolute units. But once we smite them, the elite predator appears, and this is our target, the perfect vessel for our quest. Again, this beast is an absolute tank, however we do find a small exploit. Our long-range tail attack is lethal as it constantly staggers the poor dude just trying to do his best. Now the objective here isn't to kill but to weaken the elite predator. Once we do, we unlock Alien vs Predator. The final scene for the Alien campaign shows the Predator get a nice dose of facehugger, which will lead to the abomination that we must fight in the Predators campaign. So it's all come full circle quite nicely. Even more full circle is that when we last see our beloved Xeno, she is transforming herself into the new queen, quite rightly at the top of the food chain. With that, we also unlock the achievement for beating Aliens campaign on hard, unlocking us I Admire Its Purity. With that, we only have a single campaign remaining, and of course it's time for the regular boring humans and their regular boring guns. But we're compelled, so let's start. The opening of the Marine campaign goes exactly as you'd expect. We're all safe and happy in the sky until we're not. When stuff goes wrong, we all charge towards the planet in order to save research, help humans, and to hunt bugs, of course. But when we wake up as pretty much the sole survivor of an attack, we know things haven't gone as well as we would have hoped. Now honestly, out of all of the campaigns, the Marine is definitely the most straightforward, as it's just run through and shoot until you win. But what I will say is that the Marines campaign is definitely the most tense and feels quite nicely as a survival horror, even if it is fairly basic. Speaking of basic, we continue to learn them. We're introduced into shooting Xenos and the dangers of being too close to their acidic blood. And we also meet Tequila, another Marine who helps us in these strange lands. Even if she is hilariously annoying and she just shits on us whenever she can to other people, even though we outperform every Marine ever here. The first mission though acts as the tutorial. We're introduced to the guns, the flares, the bullets. Our next achievement arrives though, as it is time to defend ourselves from a pretty insane alien attack. One by one, we slowly overcome the Xenos until it is just us remaining, and we gain our first Marine achievement, Club Hopper. Things go from bad to worst, however, as that's not the only Xeno attack that we have to deal with, and the next is much stronger. So strong, in fact, that we need to rely on help from a turret to provide much needed firepower. But even that isn't enough. So the mission ends with us running for our lives. When we're able to hop into a lift, the next achievement, Exit Strategy, is ours as well. Life is going to be getting harder as we've jumped out of the frying pan and onto the really hot hub, as we now find ourselves within the hive of the Xenomorphs. Here surprise attacks and darkness thrive, and it definitely amps up the tension a little bit more, but we still handle our Marine expertly. Alas though, we have another achievement. Now the Marine campaign definitely has the most miscellaneous achievements, and the first is for simply killing 30 enemies with the pistol. Not the most ideal weapon in battle, however we ironically stuck to our guns and carried on hollowing the enemies out with it. Eventually on the final kill we unlock Gunslinger. Forcing ourselves through the alien hive more, we eventually reach our commander, but it's not a pretty sight. He is held in place to the wall and has an unfortunate case of chest squatting. And not wanting his chest to be free room and board for this little fella, he asks the impossible of us.
There's a Xeno in me. Shoot me, rookie.
Major.
Yeah, he didn't make it. With an army of Xenos ready to pounce, we retreat and fight our way deeper into the hive. Maybe not the best move, as we actually come face to face with the matriarch, the queen, the ultimate girl boss of Xeno kind. And yes, we're fighting her. Now this may seem like a colossal fight, but it is not that tough actually. We just have to burn the absolute stuffing out of it until we have ourselves a delicious plate of barbecued queen. You'll also be shocked to hear that by slow cooking this poor creature to death, we also unlock regicide. The story's not over yet, however, as we continue to explore the planet, squash bugs, and hopefully help our brothers and sisters, which is exactly what we did as aliens. You'll be pleased to know as well that the next two achievements we gain are for more gun and death related tasks. The next involves one of the most fun weapons in any game ever, the smart gun. All we need to do is hold the shoot button down, and that's fine by me, as when we kill 5 Xenos with a single burst, we also gain Let's Rock, which bizarrely enough is pretty much the exact same achievement as in Colonial Marines as well. How perfectly recycled. The next though is original. Now my favourite weapon weapon by far is the scoped rifle. It does absolutely brutal damage and handles like a sniper, so yeah, I was in my element. With this weapon, all we need to do is kill 10 enemies with headshots. Again, surprisingly easy in my opinion, and soon done for elite sniper as well. Now, the reason we're continuing is that we need to find Tequila, who has gotten herself in a touch of bother. Now, I really hate the bastard, but she has an achievement, so we must save her. On the way to do that though, and for the third time, we find ourselves in the trial by combat pit, and our next enemy is the humble Preddy. The first time that we've faced it in the Marines campaign, and unfortunately, the only time we face it. A little bit underwhelming really, but we have a fight on our hands anyway, so let's get to it. I'm not scared of it, it's scared of me. Help me! Oh! Embarrassed! Embarrassed! Alright, no idea what that was, but sod it, we have our next reward. And no, it's not an achievement, it's Tequila, who we find only moments after winning. Not really a prize, but when we locate her, we also unlock I Will Never Leave You, and that's just a straight up lie. Like calling an orange a red and blue striped golfing umbrella, it's simply not true. But now that we've saved her, the next mission involves us saving her more by getting that little intruder out of her cavities. We make our way to another station where that is exactly possible, but by the time we get Tequila to a robo helper, Bishop once again makes an appearance to say, wouldn't it be a shame if I cut all of the electricity to the machine so that she dies? And that's what exactly he does. So with no other option, we throw her into a tube for a nap, and we also unlock another achievement with That's a Promise. The next mission immediately starts with us running from yet another large horde of angry aliens, straight into the arms of yet another queen. Now unfortunately, we don't have huge tanks of petrol to ignite this time. This fight will be done a lot more one-on-one, and it is certainly tougher. The queen gets the better of me once by punching my shit in. However, the next time, I find a weapon that reduces this creature to nothing more than a spider on the wall, the grenade launcher. It staggers the hell out of the queen, so you can just rinse and repeat until she breathes no longer. With one final bullet, one big bug is also ours, and that's yet another insane enemy that this little rookie was able to dominate. Once again, folks, we are on the final mission for the Marines though, and it has us storm the pyramid to take Wayland Bishop on for his datapad. Now, it doesn't really take that long to get to him because the mission is quite short in premise, but once we reach him, another boss fight is on our hands, and the most bizarre and unexpected thing happens.
More than you allow yourself to consider.
This is gonna suck. This is cheap as... Yep, somehow getting my head caved in unlocked to 6,000 points in ranked multiplayer matches. Honestly, not a clue what caused that to pop, but it is not the end of the world, as for another achievement we have to gain over 18,000 XP, so we'll get it eventually. Back to the Bishop fight, we immediately find a way to outplay him. Just simply shoot him around this rock and he will fold himself into a neat little pile of dead. We go to grab his datapad, but Bishop comes back for one last tussle. He should have learnt the first time though, as once again we embarrass him and take his cranium away as he falls into the predator pit and gets arned to death. With that, we gain get to the chopper, and that's exactly what we do. We sprint out of the ruins just in time to catch a ride out of here with the rest of the crew that made it. A perfect ending that gives us 2 achievements, Game Over Man for finishing all 3 campaigns, and Stay Frosty for beating Marines campaign on hard. Now, completing the campaigns was a great first step and a decent way to tackling every achievement. Now, we still need to go through all 3 campaigns again on Nightmare, as well as collect every collectible achievement as well, but the next step was the most crucial to the run. It is time to try to reignite the servers once more in the name of achievements, as there are 10 related to the multiplayer, and even though the servers are still technically online, I wasn't holding much hope that the near 14-year-old servers on a dead game would really hold up. But for the first achievement, the 6-pack, we need to start a ranked match with a full team of 6 friends. So we got the lobbies going and hoped for the best. Now, sorting this out was definitely tricky, as we think region lock has something to do with this, but we had a ton of problems finding lobbies. But then, it worked. We found ourselves in a full lobby playing domination. I was ecstatic that this might actually be possible still. So we started the game, and thankfully the 6-pack did indeed unlock. Now, truth be told, there isn't that much I can actually specifically say about the multiplayer achievements really, but my lord, being able to revive the servers once again was just another incredible feeling, and thank you to everybody who helped me do it. I genuinely think that reviving the servers for this and Colonial Marines have to be one of the best things we have ever done for the channel. So let's quickly go through what happened in multiplayer and more importantly the achievements we unlocked in doing so. Now to begin, we didn't boost any. I wanted a good 3 or 4 hours to be playing the multiplayer exactly how it should be played, to see if it was fun, and honestly it was a right laugh. The one and only problem we really faced was horrendous ping, as it was hosted by a player and not a server, which made more sense. So they would get a pretty insane advantage, but my lord, I cannot stress how much fun I was actually having during this. But enough of my enjoyment, you are here for the achievements. So within the first stream we were able to tackle quite the few. Firstly, for finishing and playing a single ranked death mode match, we unlocked Welcome to the War. An hour later, we then had luck and skill on our side, somehow. Plus we're playing Marine, which is easily the deadliest of the 3 online. So with this overpowered human, we were able to get a 10 kill streak as well, something I didn't expect I'd be capable of, but thankfully we did, unlocking very tough Ombre. The next achievement also came as a very pleasant surprise. We need to get 2 Persecutor medals in a single match. To get one, you have to kill a player 5 times in a row without them killing you once. And since we were on such an insane streak during this game, we also unlocked the achievement only minutes later. We domed one of my dear old friends in the skull and got Persecution Complex as well. As for winning this match by the skin of my teeth, another achievement unlocks for winning our first ranked death mode match, unlocking us Killer Instinct. 3 achievements in a single game was great for me. However, we also need 9 more death mode wins for another achievement later on, so we're nowhere near done yet. The next achievement was one that I did need to boost in my opinion. In the game mode Infection, it starts with 1 alien versus a team of Marines. But for every Marine the alien kills, that player will then swap sides and the game will end when everybody is either Xeno scum or until the Marines outlast the aliens. For the next achievement, we need to escape and live as the only remaining Marine, and this was just much easier to quickly boost, so we just joined a lobby, everybody turned themselves into aliens within seconds, and I just sat around waiting for the game to end. When it did, the uninfected unlocked as well. By this time, I had also realised I'd made a tiny mistake, as I didn't think there were any Predator achievements left for us to get, but I did indeed miss one. The nice sharp stick that we unlocked in the campaign is the next task, as we need to use that to kill 20 enemies, something I didn't even see in the list, but we accidentally got as I fell in love with playing as the Predator online. It was so much fun and the stick is lethal. The Predator stalks his prey and then gives him a stick! And great names for the achievements, by the way. They've really outdone themselves here. With the bulk of the online completed, we only had a couple more achievements left, so let's quickly speed through them now. The next achievement took many hours to unlock, but as I said earlier, we needed to win 10 ranked death mode matches. Definitely a lot of fun to go for, and eventually we did indeed unlock Serial Killer, followed by regenerating 30 blocks of health as a Marine in the Survivor game mode for Ain't Got Time to Bleed, followed straight after by killing 20 enemies within 60 seconds as a team in Survivor as well. This achievement is one of the easier things to do in the entire world. With a full squad of smart guns, it's so easy for Scattershot. With that, we only have a single achievement left for multiplayer. Real Nasty Habit is for gaining over 18,000 XP in ranked matches. Now, there are actually 2 ways you can do this. By actually just playing online and getting 18,000 XP, which takes so much time I can't even stress, or the second option, which is what we settled for. And it involves a little bit of a cheese, I can't lie, as if you try to find a multiplayer match, then back out, head into the Marine campaign and blow yourself up endlessly, for some reason this gives you ranked XP. I honestly haven't a clue why, but this is easily the best method for both of the XP related achievements. Literally just sat and blew myself up for 10 minutes straight for Real Nasty Habit, an achievement that I was hilariously nervous about unlocking. With only one more miscellaneous achievement left, we decided to grab that before we then head back into the nightmare part of the grind. Literally. The last achievement we needed for now was to kill 2 enemies with a single shot of the shotgun. Simple in premise, but actually really difficult to get right. It genuinely took me about 45 minutes of constant trying to get the lucky shot I needed that bodied plural of them at the same time. But of course, we eventually do get it, for I like to keep this handy. Ah, folks, it's time. Time to do all 3 campaigns yet again on Nightmare, a mode that makes the enemies do more damage, have more health, but most annoyingly, if you die at any point, you go right back to the start of the mission and have to do it all over again. We started with Predator, of course. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you folks, it actually wasn't that tricky. By now we had so much practice with each faction, I knew the best way to move, attack and hide for the cleanest playthrough, and it worked a treat. In fact, for the entire Predator campaign, we only died twice. this. And it took us just about 2 hours to beat every mission and every boss. It wasn't exactly easy, but by playing slow and calculated, it is nowhere near as daunting as you may think. So as I said, within 2 hours we wrapped up the entire Predator campaign once again for one ugly mother. Folks, I would love to say that the Alien campaign was any different, but unfortunately it wasn't. We were comfortable with the character, and the speed of the Alien makes it really easy to avoid danger. So again, within a couple of hours we had managed to blitz through the entire campaign without any real issues, unlocking us magnificent, isn't she? The last, of course, is the Marines, and again folks, I'm sorry to say that this campaign absolutely broke me. I mean totally broke me. I have never felt squishier in my entire life, but oh my god, everything kills you as a Marine. Let me just give you a couple of examples of the nightmare mode just outright having its way with me, and honestly most of the agony was in the final mission. Here, take a look. There's actually not that much difference between that and my real life. Ah! Really? What? That's oh, it's so f***ing cheap, I swear to God. Nah, I'm done. I don't know if I can do this. But eventually we make our way through the agony and get it done. Get f***ed. I love the core. Oh. With that done, the tests and the pain is behind us, as all we have left is the collectibles. So we spent the next 3 hours going through all of the campaigns yet again, getting the final Predator belts, alien mother goo, human sacrifices, and of course the Marine audio diaries as well. Eventually unlocking us Fortune and Glory, Harsh Language, Grim Reaper, and Quite the Specimen. With all of those collected, we also unlock the final achievement, Not Bad for a Human. And folks, there we go, another game that I would never have thought achievable, but we've done it. Thanks to you amazing folks, we have smashed it, and another incredible 100% is in our belts, meaning that for now, the grind is over. Oh, the Alien vs Predator game, a game I remember loving as a kid, and I'm so glad to be able to say that this game holds up really well, and I enjoyed pretty much all of my time here. The playstyles of the 3 campaigns are noticeably different, meaning that each was a pleasure to go through, and I actually loved how all 3 campaigns existed and intertwined at the same time. A really refreshing change. The multiplayer was also so much fun, and I don't really have that many complaints. The biggest I would say is that the campaigns can feel slightly repetitive as it gets to the end, as it is just fight through enemies until you reach the goal. Now of course that's what this game would be, but making the campaigns about an hour longer with maybe a couple more different things to do would have just made it that much better in my opinion. Other than that, the game holds up phenomenally well for it being nearly 15 years old, and I would recommend it to anybody who is a fan of the series, as it's just a good game. The grind, maybe not so much, as multiplayer makes it very difficult, but not impossible. So with that, let's get to the stats. For Aliens vs Predator, it took us just over 32 hours to grind all 50 achievements that come with the game. My rating is going to be an extremely solid and maybe somewhat surprising 8 out of 10. This game still holds up fantastically, and I would recommend anybody to give this game a go if you haven't done already. Just bear in mind that the achievements are going to be next to impossible unless you have the right people. But in regards to the difficulty of the achievements, I'm going to have to give it a 5. Online multiplayer aside, you are going to have to commit to this game quite a bit. Multiple playthroughs of the campaigns on separate difficulties, over 150 collectibles to grab, bunch of miscellaneous achievements, and then of course the online achievements if you can get the people for it. So if you are looking to do this, good luck, and I really mean that very, very sincerely. But it is absolutely still possible, so it's up to you. For me, the hardest achievement as well easily will be going to completing the Marine Corps campaign on Nightmare mode. Of course, I love the Corps, what else could it be? This one was a nightmare and easily the achievement that took the most pain and fury to get. But there we go folks, thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate you all being here. Remember, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more achievement grinds coming in the future. It would be, well, I'd appreciate it so much. And of course the cliche plug of the Twitch as well, feel free to come by if you want to see my suffering live. It's pretty much all we do. I suffer. Come watch it, it'll be fun. But that is enough from me today folks, I have already talked for far too long. Thank you all once again so much for watching, it means more than you could possibly know, and I hope to see you all for a future installment of the Achievement Grind. So until then, folks, take care. Bye-bye for now.